Skipper, Captain Lister, would you be willing to come up and say a few words?
Thank you for the opportunity, Master Chief, and thank you all for coming here this morning. You know, we're saddened by the loss of Petty Officer Miller, but I'm personally grateful, and I think we're grateful of each other for gathering here this morning to remember her as she has passed on. I never got to know Petty Officer Miller. She came to us, she felt seriously ill pretty quickly after she came to us, and I'm a little bit sorry. I am sorry that I didn't get a chance to know her because she was, you know, from a distance, one courageous person. And through Master Chief Heiner and others on the staff here, we got to watch her as she battled the cancer that ultimately took her life. And I can't imagine, or I don't think I've ever seen anyone as courageous as her and with a fighting spirit such as hers. And that has been absolutely exemplary. I would want to think and hope that each and every one of us could fight the way that she fought if we were faced with the challenges that she was faced with. She, to the very day she passed on, she remained hopeful and positive and never gave up. And, you know, Master Chief Heiner would relate to me either via email or by phone conversation, the conversations that he would have with her as he was in the hospital with her during that period, and the conversations that she would have with her parents and with the medical staff, the doctors down in Balboa Hospital. When the doctors themselves felt that they could do no more, she asked them to do more. And when they told her that there was nothing more that she could do, she said, well, then I'll do it myself here, and I'll turn around, and when I do, you're going to come back to me, and then you're going to start treatment up again, because I'm going to lick this. She said that the day before she died. That is a story of courage, and I think we can all be phenomenally impressed by that. But that translates also into a thank you that I want to offer to all of you in the Muse program and those of you who have provided support through this challenging time for Amanda, to her family and to each other, to Master Chief Heiner, to the command, and to Amanda herself. You know, chaps, you talked about investing in relationships, and that's exactly what I saw during the period that Amanda was in the fight here. And each and every one of you that provided support, thank you. It was exemplary, and when we talk about taking care of shipmates, there's no better example than what we've seen for the last few months here. Particularly Master Chief Heiner, thank you for the personal investment that you have made. And all of you, I know it means a tremendous amount to the family during this difficult time. You stood by for her, for the family, and for each other. And we couldn't ask for more. I don't know that you would find that outside the Navy the way that you find it. We've seen it here. Again, thank you. And just ask that as we move forward from here that you think about keep the Miller family in your thoughts and prayers, and think about Amanda as she passed on. Thanks. Master.
Thank you very much, Skipper. Well, I must say this is much more difficult than being Master of Ceremonies for 1,300 revelers at the Seabee Ball. I really only knew Amanda for a short time. I was an individual augmentee in Africa when Muse held the selection board that picked a stellar Seabee for the program. The Seabee was decorated with the Joint Service Commendation Medal for service as an individual augmentee in Iraq. I got back and I saw her before she went to Virginia to attend the Army's Prime Power School, but only a couple of times. One of those times was when Senior Chief Kevin Hughes retired. Amanda relieved Kevin of the watch. Now it's my turn to relieve Amanda. Amanda completed the Prime Power School and earned the Ironman Award for being a superior athlete. Basically, I like to say she pretty much kicked the Army's butt. She did an outstanding job. While going through this challenging school, she was also very involved in CrossFit and did a fundraiser to pay for her way to the CrossFit Nationals in Aromas, California. I remember talking to her, she was disappointing herself for getting 10 less burpees during a fundraiser than she had just a week prior to that. I think she did a total of 125 of them, and if you don't know what burpees are, they're extremely challenging, and particularly to do that many. She completed the event and did very well, and as you'll see later, the impact that she made even during that was very huge. She supported her mom while she was going through the school, who was battling breast cancer and is today a survivor of breast cancer. Her mom is putting her to rest, and that's something that a mother never ever wants to experience, or a parent in general. She did this and still completed the most challenging school that's offered to the Seabees with a passion and determination that inspired all around her. So we'll fast forward past school, past the surgeries, past her moments of hope and despair, past her cooking for holiday events with friends, and past the Muse program and the cheese mess, doing the Meals on Wheels to support her when it just got to be a little too much. I saw Amanda on Sunday when I came back from my uncle's funeral in Washington State and was there with her mom, her aunt, Chief Ertz, to see Amanda fight until her final breath. It was very difficult to see her going through all the pain and suffering and the toll that the chemotherapy was taking on her. Yet it was also very inspiring to see her undaunting determination to beat it. As the skipper said the day before she passed, "I'm going to beat this, and you're going to start treating me again." She fought until he called her home, until the Lord called her home. Amanda's cancer was so aggressive that the chemo and radiation could not keep up with it. Her doctors said it was the most aggressive case that they had ever seen. The trials at UCLA had no effect. The chemo and radiation had very little or no effect at all on her cancer throughout her battle when she got here. Her mom was at her side for the last 6 weeks. All the meanwhile, she had another 12-year-old daughter back home who was staying with an aunt. So she was, and Donna herself, her mom, had just had surgery, I think it was about 10 days or less than 10 days before coming out here to support Amanda in her breast cancer fight. So she was going through a tremendous amount of challenges herself. I went down there every chance I got. It ended up really only being about once a week or so. Definitely wasn't enough. Chief Ertz and I brought her dogs down to her one time, and she really enjoyed that. You know, those dogs, anybody has pets, you understand that, that will brighten anybody's spirits to have to see your pets. And, her being as active as she was, being locked up in the hospital, it was absolutely, devastating to her personally, because she just wanted to be out there and wanted to continue to push. And when she got to see her dogs, that was a tremendous event for her. We presented her with the Muse Pin and Certificate, which is something that is normally given after you complete Prime Power, after you complete Muse familiarization course, which actually doesn't start up for the class that she was in until July 6th. So we knew, the doctors telling me, for a while, how things were going to progress. And knowing that Amanda was not going to be in the school, that we were trying to get her home to Florida so she could be with her family in her final moments, we definitely wanted to make sure that she understood that she is a Muse Tech. You know, she earned every bit of that pin. It's not official or anything like that, and you know, it is still something that we hold very near and dear within the Muse program, and it's something that we take a lot of pride in. So it was a true honor to be able to present that to her and to bring her dogs down to her. People will tell you cancer sucks, especially the type of aggressive melanoma cancer that Amanda had. It started in her right thigh, and it pretty much got into every part of her body before she passed. It was the most difficult thing to witness, and I'm truly happy that she is no longer in such pain. I wish I could explain it, but I really can't. I'd really rather people just remember Amanda as they knew her, the one that you see in the pictures in the back and in the thing that Chief Ertz put together. By the way, thank you, Chief Ertz. He's the one that set all this up for this morning's remembrance. I really appreciate it. I want people to remember her for everything that she was. It's not meant to sound short or anything like that. It's just so hard seeing this young 24-year-old Seabee, strong-willed, determined soul experience the depths of pain that she did. She was truly an amazing spirit, and I saw it through her blog that I looked at, you know, afterwards, and her Facebook page and all the comments that she's gotten. She made a tremendous impact on so many people, many of which she met once or twice, and to tell you the truth, many of which she never met at all. Amanda's life was about strength, determination, inspiration, and balance. I'll only say balance as a whole because each of the individual parts, there was no balance. She was 100% ferocious and unwavering. So balance is only as a whole, and she did a very good job of that. She's very dedicated to the Navy and what she did, you know, while she was in the Navy, wherever she was at. And she was also very dedicated to her personal life and CrossFit, and she has a tremendous amount of people that she inspired throughout that. The blog that she had was, she started up in like November, and it was kind of a, kind of a diary, I guess, of what she was going through, but also an inspiration for all, because she was also a CrossFit trainer. So she used that to still, inspire the people that she was training to continue on and to do the different events that they needed to do. And she would also touch on, a lot of the things that she was experiencing, the pain, the joy, all of it. She talked about all of it. Everything she did, she had those attributes of strength, determination, inspiration, and balance. She talked about, as far as balance, she talked about how nice it was to get back to work and have some sort of normalcy in her fight. And then when the pain was getting too much, she pondered why her work makes her come in when she's feeling, so much pain and it's so tough. She did her best. She inspired everybody that was around her. And what I told her every day, you just stay as long as you can. If you don't feel like coming in, let us know. You do what you can, and you make it work. And she was definitely an inspiration to everybody in that building. She showed her determination to beat the odds with an indomitable spirit. She was almost always positive. The only negatives in her blog, and the only negatives I talked to her a lot, the only negatives was when something was getting in the way of her beating this cancer. She wasn't going to take any no for an answer, There was none of that, absolutely none. You know, the doctor basically told her she had less than 48 hours, or actually less at that point, he said less than a month to live, and he was going to stop chemo. And she said that, you know, I'm going to turn this around, and next week you're going to restart the chemo, because I'm going to beat this. Here's a couple of examples of some of the things that she said in her blog on December 8th. I guess the rest of the tissue was sent over has no more melanoma cells in it. So that's what the doctors told her. You know what that means? Yep, I have to go get another liver biopsy done. I thought I was in the clear, but now I'm not. And we just wasted another week for this, and probably 2 by the time I actually get it done. Results are sent and a test is done again. I originally was going to go to UCLA for this, but now I think I might go down to San Diego because I'll need to get scans done again. I'll find out as soon as I can about that. That's a bummer. I actually just started crying at work. And I don't know why. Probably because I feel helpless in all this. Usually when I get aggravated with someone, I'll usually just take whatever it is that they're doing and I'll do it myself, because I know that it'll be done quickly and correctly. On this, I can't though. And I think the pressure of it all caught up to me. I told my master chief what was going on, and he actually gave me a hug. It was nice considering all the work with with all the dudes, besides one other female. She cracks me up. All you dudes out there. On December 10th, 2 days later, I got a message from someone on Facebook that said, "Nice scar, karma's up," and then a little expletive with a B. I didn't recognize the person, and I didn't really care. I thought about it, and I must say that I wasn't the best person growing into who I am today. But I have been forgiven, and have left my past behind when I decided to ask God to be in my life. I basically messaged her back and told her the same thing and apologized for hurting her. Then I told her happy holidays. Maybe killing with kindness will help, but I have a feeling it will just make her more immature. Sad to see the people out there like that. I figured this would happen once I became public about my situation. But it's more about helping others now and being inspirational to everyone, that they can do better than just average or just okay. Have a good day, everyone, with a smiley face. You know, that was Amanda, very much, in everything that she did. I posted on Facebook on Amanda's page about her passing, and you know, it's amazing how many people she's touched. I now have probably 50 additional friends that I never had through Amanda and the inspiration that she had. And you know, some of the comments of her friends regarding Amanda, so it just kind of attests to her influence on other people. One said, "I only got to speak with Amanda only a few times, but the few times we did speak, she taught me how to be strong. She was and is an inspiration to many, and to all who knew her personally, even more. In her blog, she taught us strength and the will to survive and to be a fighter. Even before she got sick, everyone she came into contact with, she spread that aura of spunkiness and happiness and laughter. Even through the hard times, she knew what was right words to say and where to get you through it and help you move on. I've lit a candle for her, and I'm sure she would laugh at that cheesy song I played, Eye of the Tiger." So, you know, some people having some fun. Another one, "Amanda, you're one of the strongest women I've had the pleasure of knowing. You're an inspiration and will be missed but never forgotten. I can honestly say that I've only seen Amanda a few times, but every time was a very energetic experience. You're a very strong person, Amanda. May God touch the souls of you and your family." happy to have had the opportunity to get to know you and have you as part of our CrossFit Wharton family. So this is while she was going through the Prime Power School in Fort Belvoir. You know, a very challenging school, yet she had to balance. Balance is something that I definitely stress with everybody at work. You know, I fully expect that you work to your fullest potential at work, but when the day is done, use that same energy and potential for whatever it is else in your family. You know, your family, an outlet that will help you, you know, just be able to deal with life stresses. And she was very much the epitome of that. Another person says, pure strength, pure passion, and an inspiration to me. Thank you. You will not be forgotten, but sadly missed. You had such a wonderful gift to motivate people to do things that they never thought they could do, and all the while, never make them feel stupid. I feel blessed for the time you spent with me, and I take comfort in knowing one day I will see you again. You are by far the strongest person I have ever known. Amanda Rose Miller, you are a true inspiration to very many people, including myself. You are the true definition of a warrior. Your heart was always strong, mind always focused, and gave everybody you knew the motivation to be what they are today. You are loved and will be missed by all. You are a machine. You will not quit. Never forget Amanda Rose Miller, and she will be in our lives as a hero. Another one, not fair, dude. The last thing you said to me was life is short and live it up. There's so much to say, Amanda. I've got nothing but respect for you. I'm glad we went through what we went through. We came out stronger women. I'm not ready to say goodbye. Your strength is inspiring. Amanda has a permanent place in my heart. It's so sad to lose her, but I know she's with God and no longer in pain. I love that crazy girl. She had a lot of very close friends. She was very passionate, very inspirational, very motivating. She was definitely a warrior. She was focused, strong, and determined. She was also, you know, she went through surgery when she was at Belvoir. She found out right before she graduated that something wasn't right, so she went into the doctor, and she ended up doing surgery there. She transferred out, checked out, and then we ended up checking her back into Fort Belvoir because she had to stay there for the surgery. And then she stayed for about another month or so, a little over a month, until we can get things coordinated on this end for her care, both with UCLA and Balboa. In the meantime, you know, when she did get here, she was still very involved in CrossFit. She pushed herself 100% of the time. As long as she could move, she did everything she could. So she was involved with CrossFit here in Ventura as well. And when they found her passing, they put a note on their website. And I just want to read that to you guys. For those of us who attended last year's games, so in 2009 she attended the CrossFit Games, we all remember Guns. None of us actually got to meet her that weekend, but she immediately struck us as that tough chick. Throughout the weekend in Aromas, our eyes were continually drawn to her because of her strength, agility, and determination. She was impossible to forget, and a frequent topic of conversation at CrossFit Ventura thereafter. Last fall, when the word came that Amanda would be moving out west to join CrossFit Ventura, we were all ecstatic. Guns is coming! From there on, the standard at CrossFit Ventura had been raised. The women wanted to compete like her, and the men were inspired to learn from her. In her short time at CrossFit Ventura, she truly showed us what it meant to be a CrossFit athlete. She was absolutely fearless, ruthless, and defined strength in every way. The words quit, or stop were simply not in our vocabulary. Amanda embodied the word competitor. Not all of us had the privilege of working out with her, but for those of us that did, her words will always resonate in our minds every time it gets hard. She had the motivation and dedication we all aspire to achieve. You will be missed, but never forgotten. We love you, Amanda. So, Amanda Miller, Amanda, guns, pistols, red, fair winds and following seas, shipmate. We have the watch. Okay, we're going to play taps. Everybody can rise, please.